What are you doing here? You're early. But thanks for coming round. What you been doing? Did you bring some coffee? Man, you said you were going to bring some coffee. I guess I'll just have to drink my water then. Okay. What's up, guys? How you doing? What am I doing today? Trying to protect myself from falling off the scooter by putting this thing on here somehow, so I can look a prize when I ride around. But I don't have to fall off the scooter. You know, you're holding the throttle, you're trying to control your speed, holding the GoPro in my hand because it has a little bit of image stabilizing and focus, trying to see what I'm like. Oh, this is nice. Where's the next hole? And trying to stop. So you're trying to stop with one hand. You squeezing your brake, pressing the pedal, trying to balance. Where's the hole? Trying to keep the too much. And so some of you guys said that's too dangerous, and I said it is. I've done it 2 times. I don't want to do it no more. Anyway, what's been happening? I ordered a big bag full of all kinds of different connectors. Let me show you some of them. There's all pieces like this. So you have this bit here. So you got these bits with these sticky pads on the back. I don't trust sticky pads to hold my camera in the heat, and it decides, oh, it's too hot, I'm going to come unglued so his GoPro can go rolling down the road. Nah. So I need something like this. It's got the sticky in it, but I can also somehow secure it to the helmet. So I ordered all this stuff, but the good thing is, sorry for looking down when I have my students here and the instructor's looking down. He's supposed to be focused on the students. Everything should be prepped. Sorry. So, how much did I spend? Not a lot. But I'm not throwing this stuff away. I'll use it for something else, I'm sure. So, I think 20 baht, 30 baht, 20 baht, 30 baht. So it's like 70 cents, $1, $1.20, something like that, for about 3 or 4 things. And so I haven't spent a lot of money. And as I say, I'm not throwing it away. I'll use it for something else. But in another video that you've already seen, I went to the camera shop a couple times to see a guy called Peanut. Peanut is his name, and he talked to me about different cameras. Insta360 is what he has, and DJI Osmos, he said the sensors is not as good as the Insta, which actually at the end of the day, that's the main selling point, right? So, but like I said in the other video, it's the same size as the GoPro, plus the back flips up. So like this camera that you're watching me through, the back flips up, so it's directly on top of the lens. So if you had the other one, so I'll put this over here, so as if it flips out to the side. So I'm looking at that, and where's my eyes? They're watching to make sure I'm staying central in the screen. So when you're watching it, you go, what's wrong with his eyes? Why is he looking over there and not at me? That's exactly why I want this arrangement. Well, this arrangement, they don't make anymore. I can't find any until I found that Insta360 yesterday. I just learned this, that it's like a GoPro, but the back flips up. It's called an action camera, so it resembles a GoPro, but it's called Insta360 whatever, and the back flips up, so you can look at it like that looking straight like you're watching me. So that's for me, a major selling point. I guess that's from my, I studied body language for years and years. I found it super fascinating, still do. The way we behave and the way we interact with each other is really important. Like, just notice there, I look away. So some people say, well, if you're having a conversation and you look away, that's rude. It's not rude. The person talking, when they look away, is their brain's functioning to find the next sentence to come along. So it's a way of it's just the way our bodies work. So when you look away, your brain's working as well as your lips are moving. So anyway, the main thing for me is I'm very happy with the idea. I'm going to use this for the helmet, the GoPro, because I won't be looking at it once I'm running. But I'm going to get a new one this month, or maybe I'll buy it for myself for Christmas or something. But I bought a big purchase, not the scooter, but similar price, actually a little bit more expensive, this month, unexpected, and I didn't save for it. Normally I plan, save, everything's allocated months in advance. That's the way I manage myself. But I bought this thing spontaneously, which left my my wages down a little bit for this month. So not bad at all, right? It's just the way I manage myself. Okay, so I don't want to just go buy it this month, because what is that, 18,000 baht? But the Insta 360, 18,000 baht, gives you the camera, 3 batteries, some kind of case, and a handle, and a lot of other jazz. But I'm not going to mount that on the helmet, so I'm going to use a GoPro for that. And but I think if I buy a replacement camera for this one, if it starts to go all together, it'll be that. And so the point is, this is what I really like about it. Inside, I don't know if you don't know it, but when you operate a GoPro, you turn it on and it gives you a menu in the back, and you can select camera, video, time lapse, and things like that. Well, this is an older one, but on that one it has an option that you can press on, and it gives you the ability to record video, but video like this for the long videos, and videos like that for shorts at the same time. So the other day when I was at the train station recording the steam train that came in, I was like, I want to record. I'm not going to have a camera like this and a phone like this to try to get them both. Mr. Anal needs to focus on one thing at a time. So one thing at a time, and do it well, not two things and get it half, 50%. So I recorded the train going by with this camera, and I didn't get the short I wanted. But with that Insta 360, you can get both at the same time. So when you record, it gives you 2 files. So yes, bigger memory, but just take a memory stick with you. It's a couple of, if you have 3 batteries and you go out with the intention of recording a lot, then you're going to probably need some more memory sticks because you're filling it up, right? So that's the camera update. So but this camera, the GoPro, I think this is a GoPro 9. I'm going to mount it on top today, and then get on the scooter maybe in the morning. So the good thing is winter's here. It's much cooler. It's warm in here right now because I haven't opened the windows to keep the noise out. But outside it's nice. In here it's a little bit warm but quiet. So I'll open the windows in a minute and let it cool it down again. So I think this is what I found. Okay, let's see if I can show you. I ordered this. This is let me take it out first. Okay, this little thing here goes on the tripod. It holds the camera to the, like a little clip, and then you put it in, you screw that into the bottom of the camera. So I bought 2 spare of these, and this thing come like this. So I'm thinking, if I drill a hole, this is a 1/4 inch, so what is a 1/4 inch? Around 6 millimeters, something like that, I guess. Drill a hole that big in top of the helmet, and then I'm hoping this distance will be enough that I can get it in like that and still tighten it, because I don't think the helmet's that thick. But I can tighten it tight, and maybe even put some like epoxy glue on, so that once it's on and screwed tight, I'll leave it alone for 5 minutes. Well, however long, 3-5 minutes, or however long that epoxy takes to dry. And then this tilts forward and back. This tilts side to side. So I just have to get it perfectly centered. And then you can put the GoPro on top, and then you lock it in the center here. So that goes up and pinches against the thread. So lock the GoPro this way, and then you can undo this and then do forward and back. So what I can do is, I said to Jen, she was happy to help me, I can put the helmet on her head, adjust it from behind, standing behind, say, okay, this looks straight. So like if you're sitting on the handlebars, not looking down, but looking straight. So you've got to, when you're riding, you're panning in front of you and farther in front and farther in front and farther. So you're looking in front here, especially, looking for potholes. But and snakes and lizards. And side note, went to the dam the other day just to see if the water started going down there at all. I thought they would start pumping it out so they could get back to work, but they haven't. But on the way back, there was a monitor lizard on the side of the road, about as big as the one that comes here. It's about coming up to 3 meters now, and his head's like this, right? He comes along the river by the side of the house. But just past that, there was another one. One of the biggest I've seen. The biggest I've seen is actually on the other side of the woods. So that the woods next door, walking from, there's a pond over here, and he walks back to the river. I'm telling you, ginormous. But this one on the road, the big one, was not far off it. His body's on the floor, and his neck comes out. It's like a dinosaur. Neck come out like this, and looking around, the head had to be like 2 feet or more, close to 3 feet, almost like 90 centimeters off the floor. Whew. So I come up close, really slow, and just before I open my window to put my phone out to record him, a dog come flying down the road, and I'm like, dude. So that spoiled my picture or video, but you know, normally monitor lizards would just run off, but if he stood his ground, he could have swallowed that dog in one. Anyway, so when you're driving, that's what you have to look for. But the idea is, when Jan says I can adjust the mirror, adjust the camera, so straight across and down just a little bit at the, the far end. So when I'm looking around, because I won't be able to see, I just have to say, okay, I'm sorry, whatever we get, and go for it, right? I'm just gonna make sure my camera hasn't turned off. That's why I'm looking at the Insta360, because this one has they're known for having a heat problem, but it's not sunny and it's cooler today, so it should be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put it like right here in the front, like on top, just forward. I mean, it's not flat, but it's forward, like here. Put it here in the middle. So I'll maybe put a piece of tape from here to here, and then measure the middle with I have the material tape from a sewing box. Can go over and then mark it, the middle, and then have a scientific guess. Back in the day when I was teaching, we used to call it swag. Scientific wild ass guess. So if you weren't 100%, this is not official teaching, but we just used to say it just for fun. I used to have lots of jokes. Because you know, when you think about it, you're in the classroom 8 hours a day for months, and if you just did everything by the book, the brain doesn't work that way. The brain works, different people, different timings, but it works between 10 and 20 minutes, right? And between every 10 and 20 minutes, so you can focus for 10 and 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, and then your brain will just wandering. You know, you'll sit there and somebody will be talking, you go, and you go wandering off. It's not rude. It's because your brain's trying to file it away. It's like hitting save on a computer. You're working, and it gets to a point where things don't look right, save, and then it'll be all right again, right? Because you got too many things open. The brain's focused on the conversation. So in the classroom, I used to say, what is that there? Follow it along, breaking protocol. And I would say, they say, oh, it looks like a pump. I said, no, it's made in French. So what's the name of it? La pompe. And it's corny, but if you think they're in deep concentration and they're trying to stay with you, and they're trying to focus because they want to pass, and you start cracking jokes, it breaks the monotony. You have a little laugh for like 1-2 minutes, say, okay, back to it. And in that time, the brain files things away. So I did it to you, so you pay attention. No, I'm teasing. So the point is, find the point between these two, I think the center, and there's a material there, but there's no padding. So the padding's around the outside edge, but no padding in the middle. So I guess I could, with a razor blade, either cut that or just leave it alone, I think. I'll just leave it alone. And wherever the hole comes through, cut the material just a little bit there, put that nut on and a washer, and hopefully it'll go through and grab the camera. Hopefully. The trouble is, these camera screws at the bottom are a standard 1/4 inch bolt. And right now, Thailand only sells metric. But I did find on Shopee where I can buy a 1/4 inch bolt. But I might have some, because I bought some unusual hexagonal panhead screws. Hexagonal drive panhead screws from a shop. They take stuff from factories and then sell it on, and there's big buckets of BA screws and weird stuff. So I thought, you never know, and one of those might fit. I can check again. I don't think I thought I checked most of it, but I can check again. Anyway, if not, I can order a couple off Amazon, Shopee, but that'll take a few more days, and they will be slightly longer. Just a side note, I like side notes, chatterbox. I have a friend in the UK who, ex-army friend actually. I knew him probably when I was in my 20s. I think he came, I want to say he came 4 years after I joined. His name's Dave, and I joined in, I signed the papers in '79, went to basic training, went to Germany in '75, and then we had Honest John, and which is, you can look at it, it's a old piece of equipment, and I worked on what they call the Clark's mass as a young guy, and I was in charge of measuring wind speed and direction. It was data that they needed to calculate to how to get to the missile to the target. in hindsight, boring, pointless. But all of that is time. You know, when you're in the military, you're not wasting time, especially if you're going for a pension. It's another year, it's another year, it's another year. So anyway, after 4 years, they changed equipment, and we had a big influx of new people because the 2 regiments amalgamated to one, and they got rid of a lot of people, and they brought what they said was they kept the best of everybody. And instead of having 6 batteries within 2 regiments, they had 1 regiment and had 4 batteries. So they downsized, I guess, so they could afford to buy the equipment. Anyway, he joined then, and he's into like AI and making videos, making comic books and things like that. He's a nut. And we call each other online or WhatsApp and share. And I told him what I'm up to, and he laughs. But the point of what I'm trying to talk to you about is, I was like, you know, if one day I make some money out of YouTube, you know what I would like to do? Is to buy somewhere like an old warehouse. So in Thailand, I would probably look for something like a factory building, 2 floors, and live on the 2nd floor and have the ability to like park your vehicles underneath downstairs. And then so you could have like the normal things you have in a house downstairs, like cars, wheelbarrows, all that stuff would be downstairs. So cars would be at one place, and then you could have like a shed at one end. I'm thinking of flooding, right? So then upstairs would be, you'd have a big space to have like a studio apartment or studio house, maybe a balcony or a bay window or something like that up there you could build onto. But because you have enough space, you could have a room dedicated just for cameras, lights, video, stuff like this. I mean, what I'm doing right here is fine, but I just have to change the AC that's behind the camera. And that's like £1,000 to get a bigger enough AC to cool this room. So probably couldn't let it run while I'm videoing, but you can cool it right down, video, stop, cool down, you know what I mean? So I was talking to him about that. He said, go for it. I'm saying, when YouTube, you know, I can earn some money. I mean, you're talking like big money. So, pipe dream perhaps, but just joking with Dave about it. But it'd be cool. He's married to a Filipino lady, and they live in the UK. And but imagine having 2 or 3 friends, like-minded, who has a common goal, don't want to cheat each other, working together to create a place where you can make, you know, I'm just doing YouTube because you could say, why do you do YouTube? I say, well, if you think about my background, teaching, using media to try to get the information across, that's why I do it. It's basically the things that I've been doing. When I was teaching back in the dark ages, right, it was before computers were around. I was interested in photography, cameras, and but then computers come out, and we had, in the school there was a graphics department, and they started using computers, and they had a multimedia department, but it wasn't staffed because nobody knew how to use it. I'm like, dude, you should have let me be in there. But you know, my job was teaching. Anyway, before I left, I was a courses warrant officer. No, the last job I had was the author, writing the training manuals. So it's like writing the technical objectives. What has to be taught on each vehicle? There's a little pamphlet, how much time, and so on. And it wasn't until I went to work at Roke Manor Research, they had an art department. They used Max in there, and they did all their graphics and stuff like that, big printers and things. But I think today you can do all that and more. And I'm still interested in multimedia. You know, I used to have a piece of software, I forget who made it now. And you could put video in it, you could put pictures in it, and so it's like a website but on a CD. So you could make websites too. Everything's linked to each other inside the web, in the program that you develop with this software. So that's why do I do YouTube? Because same. Anyway, I put the tape on just behind the rivet, so I got a reference point. So, and try to keep the tape straight. So I got, and then I measured it from, did I do that right? So rivet, piece of tape over the top, keeping that straight so I know I'm in the right place on top. Measured it from here to here, 16 inches, half of that is 7, right? 8 inches. And then if you look, I don't know if you can see this, but there's like a flat part on the top of it, just there. So I step back into like a half an inch to be right inside that, on that flat spot right in the middle. Okay? And X marks the spot where I'm going to drill. Actually, I was given this helmet when I bought the bike, so I can't complain. I had one from another, before I moved here and before I bought my truck, I used to use Jan Scooter. So I bought myself a helmet, similar quality, low end, and I think I might buy myself a new helmet at some point. But you know, I was going to buy I told you I was going to buy a Yamaha 300cc, and that would probably cruise at 70, 120 kilometers an hour easy. At that speed, you know, you need more protection. So I think I would if I bought that bike. And why didn't I buy it? Because elder. So why didn't I buy it? Because I thought, one, I don't want to buy a big bike. I'm not going anywhere on it because it's too beep hot. But ultimately, I just want to go out and have fun on small roads. So that's why I bought the scooter. So, and what speed do I travel? About 25 to 30 miles an hour. So around 40 kilometers an hour. So maybe this is still not good enough, but I think it'll be okay for what I want right now. But ultimately, in the end, I think I'll probably buy myself a better scooter. But open face like this, I don't want that all that around here. The water would just be pouring out. So I got some of these speed bits. Well, I forget what they're called. Actually, speed bits is something different. Can you see that? Against the green here. It's got steps on it. So I think this second step is the one I need. But you know what I was just thinking? Rather than cut the material on the inside, what I could do is heat up a soldering iron. I have an older soldering iron. Heat it up and melt my way through the material so it can't fray. Or do you think that's too much thinking? I think too much thinking, right? I think what I'll do is just cut it, put the screw in the washer on, and it should be fine. What do you think? Okay, let's see if we can do this without cracking the whole thing. Don't seem very thick. Just make sure. Yeah, it needs another one. So go to the next hole. That should do it. It's tight, But if I screw it in, it'll stay tight. Yeah, it screws in. So I can screw it in from the other side. That'll keep it tight. That'd be nice, huh? Don't make it bigger. So now I can take the tape off, now that I have a hole. If I can get the tape off now. One hole. Okay. Okay. I was just in my old workshop looking in the cabinets, looking for a 1/4 inch bolt. I have bad news and good news. 2 bad news and 1 good news. Bad news 1, bloody hot in there. No windows, no fans, no nothing. Bad news number 2, I measured from here to the other side, and guess what? It is not 35 centimeters, that would be 3.5 centimeters, and not 40 centimeters, but 4. So why did it go from 35? Well, if you just, I put a piece of metal through, piece of wire, right? Oh, put that through. Pushed it all the way up as far as it goes, put my finger on the other side, pulled it out and measured it. It's 35. So there is styrofoam on top. It just doesn't feel like it, but there is some in there. So I need a screw 4 centimeters long, which is just like how long's that? About 1 3/4 inches or something. I don't have 1 3/4 inches 1/4 inch bolt because everything here is metric. So I can order one, but I want to finish this today. So good news is, because I didn't cut the hole too big, this will screw in. Yes, it's only plastic, but it screws in, right? To like that. Okay? But guess what I have? Epoxy, right? It says high-tech 4 minutes clear epoxy, clear. And this stuff dries like steel, right? So because I didn't cut the hole too big, what I could do, I think, is, I mean, if they're going to trust the sticker with a camera bouncing around and all that sort of jazz, then I'm sure they can, with this would be better. And it only takes 4 minutes, 4 minutes to dry. So I can mix some of this up, put it on the thread, which will make this ruined. But I guess maybe I can, if I ever want to take it out, it might come loose when I turn it out. I doubt it, but I can try. Or just buy a new one of these. But when it's in there and locked, if I get some, if I can get it on the threads and on here too, on the flat bit, screw it in so this is facing forward like that, because then you need to adjust this up and down to get the right head angle. And I think that will work. What do you think? What do you think? So, shall I mix this and come back, or do you want to watch? I think watch. So I need a piece of cardboard, which I have. Oh, be careful. I have a piece of cardboard. And just need to open that epoxy up, put some on, and spin it around. What do you think? So what I'll do is I think that's a good idea. epoxy in, wait 5 to 10 minutes, and hopefully it'll be rock hard. And then I can screw this in the top of it and adjust it, and then I have a helmet with a wonky wonky on it. Do you have a wonky wonky? Crazy, huh? The good thing about watching and not being here is this stuff stinks. So I should a little bit more just in case, because I don't want to have to do it again. This stuff dries in 4 minutes, so you don't have a long working time. I think I'll use one of these pieces of wire I cut out. Mix it up a little bit. And I'll put it in the hole and on that flat bit. Just to try to keep it from going all over the place. Like, you know what I should have done? Put some tape on it, the helmet, so you don't get the glue. I think that's going to be perfect. And then screw this in there, like so, because it's not over, the hole's tight. Make sure it's facing forward. It's got to be like at right angles, so when this is loose, this will flip back and forth. There's a bit of extra glue there. Just make sure. Actually, I got a little bit left, so maybe I can get a little bit around the edge. What do you think? Without banging it, Kevin. I think that's good. For my eyes, which aren't perfect, it looks good for my house, as they say, right? I think that's good. I like that. And we just wipe this extra bit off. It doesn't look bad at all. Wow. Okay, leave that alone now. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? So the time here is 10 minutes. I got that glue on my hands. 10 minutes to 12. So just wipe all this extra junk off, then I can keep my wire. It looks like junk here, but whenever I'm working, all these little bits I use for fixing just about everything. So this little stinky thing I can put in the, actually I could probably keep it, but make sure you don't put it somewhere for it to stick to something. So it's, like I said, it's 10 minutes to 12. So we'll leave it, it says 4 minutes on the packet, but we'll leave it for 10 minutes. You know, I always like to cut the bottom of these things off like that, right? Because the directions are everything there. You don't really need directions for epoxy glue if you've done it enough times. But I always like to remember, what color is it? Clear. And for 4 minutes. So when you use it in the future, you know how long to wait for it to dry. And just put it back in the packet. And then I'll put a little bit of tape on so they can't fall out. That paper tape. So they can't fall out. and I can put them back in my cupboard where I keep all my glue. So what I keep under here is, under the table, when I designed this table, I designed it for woodworking. Do you ever see my drawers? Been a long time ago. I don't even know if I recorded this. You want to see? So I just got, that's some of the stuff from my trike, which I didn't wind up using in the end. But this is stuff for carpentry work. But this is the drawers I made. Let me step back so you can see. These are the drawers I made. Actually, I made the whole table. I made this whole table, but I put these drawers in the side. And they open right up nice and wide. I got a nail gun, a staple gun, some chisels, spare everything, and different types of T-squares and things like that in that drawer. And then in the next drawer is just like drill bits and stuff like that. All these different big and small speed bits and countersink bits, all stuff for, what is this? Different types of drill bits, pencils, pens, rulers, all that sort of jazz, all in this drawer. So, this is my little work table. I made it like this, in this position, because there's a window behind you and a window over here, so I can see the house, I can see the birds and the river. One thing missing, my little furry friend. She's over there now, by the river. But she used to be anywhere, mainly over here when she started getting ill, at the bottom of that cabinet. You know, I think out of all the people and animals I've had, there's two animals that I miss. I think all the dogs I've had in my life. I had a dog called Ifka in Iceland, but I don't really remember her. I had a dog called Pepper when I lived in New Jersey, Fieldsboro. We were like joint at the hip. She could fit. We would chase rabbits in the woods, and I don't know how I was so fast when I was a kid, but I could just say we could be running. Me and my friend and Pepper, we'd be running. And I'd just say, "Pepper, sit," and I'd keep running. And when I come back, she was sitting in the same spot I asked her to sit. As I got older, I wanted to go like play ping pong balls, so she had to stay home. But she didn't like that at all. But she used to sit and wait for me when I come home from school. And I always used to sneak through the woods across the street and call her name and hide. It was a regular thing we did. And another dog I had when I had a rescue dog, Minnie. The people said, "What kind of dog do you want?" I said, "Like a border collie, something I can train and we can be friends." And they bought Minnie, who was a Heinz variety, like Dachshund legs, white body, like Dalmatian and Dachshund mix, something like, what is this? And the lady says, I bought a load of snacks and treats for her before she came. And they said, she needs a home. I'm like, dude, that's not what I asked for. But she was super scared of everything, like really mistreated. And long story, but in the end I got her to where she would, in the end she would walk with me right next to me. We'd walk along a path, she'd get to the end of the curb and she would sit and wait. But the point was I wanted to try to train a dog and build a relationship. So in the end did it. And she was so well behaved. And you know, you don't teach a dog by shouting and stuff. You do it with treats and encouragement. And she was crazy behaved. She got old and passed. And then I had a dog when I lived in the U.S. called Buzz. I called him Buzz because he would nip me like that. And it was, I think, a way his affection. It's like he'd get so excited and he's like wanted to fight with you, and so I called him Buzz. He's like a little buzzsaw. Another one, extremely intelligent, but he thought he was a puppy, but he was a German Shepherd Husky, so it wasn't like full, purebred German Shepherd, smaller but more agile and fast. And on nice days I used to go outside the back and lay under a tree on the grass. And the person I was living with, right, married to, she worked at a veterinary hospital and she'd bring all these rescue dogs home. So I had, in the end, I built a big shelter with a big house with places for each one to stay, food and medicine cabinet and all that sort of stuff, heater. I built it all myself. And then, but I would let Buzz, and I think I let them all out in the end, yeah. And I just lay on the grass and let them run, but they would attack me because I'm laying on the grass and lick the crazy. Okay, it's 10 minutes now since it's been in there. If you're still here, we have a problem. Houston, where am I going to screw the camera to? That's female and the camera's female. But I have a plan. I bought these also. They're kind of different and they're also 1/4 inch, right? So I can cut this off at about that height, put a screw on it, a bolt on it, so when I cut it, then you put the thread on, use the bolt to put the thread back on nicely, screw that rough bit into here, and then I can screw the camera onto the top. What do you think? Okay, I cut that little flange off, run this bolt backwards over it to put the thread straight, screwed the bolt into the base, tight. It comes with these 2 grub screws, so I put one facing the wrong way, look. Actually, I gotta turn it around so I can show you. So this is in tight, but it can wiggle loose. But it comes with these 2 grub screws. So put it on so the base is facing down. Tighten that up. Tight, okay? Great. Drama, ought to get a helmet on, huh? And I bought the stuff that I thought was going to do the job. I bought the right stuff, but none of it would work nicely with what I got. There's a nice cool breeze coming in here. Dude, got it. Look at that. Front, and tight. The glue's gone off really hard. It's not come loose. So it would cut that screw off, put it in, and then use the 2 grub screws to tighten it down this way so the screw can't come out of here. Tighten it this way so the screw can't come out of here. And then tightened it just like hard, held this, and it's like rock solid. So guess what? That GoPro, I'm going to leave it on there. If I want to record the birds, the helmet's going to sit in the aviary. What do you think? Awesome. We did it. We did it. Okay guys, I don't know how long I've been on here for, but a long time. What am I going to do now? Well, chill out. I was going to start the concrete today on the cave, but I've been feeling a bit wonky. And Dan says, do not start today. I said, okay. She'll be here in about an hour or so. So I think what I'll do is, yesterday I went to KFC and I have one big piece of chicken left. I think I'm going to eat that for my lunch. I've got some cold tea in the fridge, so I'm going to put some lemon in it so I can have chow manao, lemon tea, and a piece of chicken. Well, and then in the morning when it's cooler, hopefully it'll be like this, overcast a little bit and breezy. So tomorrow I can go out and record something with my helmet so I'll be hands-free. So out of all the stress, I think this is come out the nicest. I'm happy with this. I wanted it on the side. For what reason, I don't know. I just thought it would be safer there. But I tried with all these different connectors. I couldn't get it to work. But I'm happy with this. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful week, wherever you are when you're watching this. Buckets of blessings, rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. Have a wonderful day. See ya.